And, that's why I kind of got out of the circus and trying to get them because it's a bunch of politics. Yeah, I want to control what people can say, what they can't ask. Trust me, I know I've been in these rooms. I can't speak for everybody else, but I can damn sure speak for myself. Now, with that being said, I knew it was only going to be a matter of time before all of this comes back to boil over for Stephanie White, and she ultimately hurts herself as a coach.
Stephanie White had been riding a wave of goodwill after a strong run of results with the fever enough to win back a portion of the fan base that had been skeptical of her. That momentum has taken a significant hit, and the reason is a press conference clip that is now circulating widely and drawing considerable criticism of the head coach. The moment in question came during the post-game session following the Connecticut Sun game. A reporter raised the topic of alleged sideline tension between White and Caitlin Clark, framing it around reports of a divide within the locker room.
Because these same people she calling not credible and all of these different other things, it don't really sit right. And guess what Stephanie White did? She has contradicted herself in more than 100 ways because just like me, myself, and many other reporters that she somehow agree with, right? When they pushes her narrative, she goes on their show. She gives them credibility as if they are credentialed journalists. And I'm here to tell you.
White pushed back on the premise, questioning whether what the reporter was referencing actually constituted journalism at all. Her argument was that coverage built on social media speculation and fan posts does not meet the standard of legitimate reporting, and that credible outlets should be the ones setting the agenda. The quote that landed the hardest: "If the league is going to keep generating news from social media users and bots, that is a problem, and real journalism should be producing real news."
Journalists. And I'm here to tell you, they're not. Now, with that being said, those of you guys who's living under a rock and might not know what I'm talking about, let me just play this clip from yesterday's press conference. Please do the honors, my producers. Roll the footage.
Which is kind of, to me, misleading report. But it seemed like maybe there might have been a situation on the sideline at one point between you two. And it's funny because even after that fact, you're the leading scorer on the team. So, and then there's reports.
Today?
Huh?
Today?
Yeah.
The backlash was not about whether that position has any merit in isolation. It was about the contradiction embedded in it. White has made appearances on various platforms and shows run by independent commentators and content-based outlets, people who operate outside traditional media credentials.
Huh?
Today?
Yeah, maybe you scored something.
Oh, okay.
She put the dagger, but you had the.
But what sideline?
But the point I'm making is that there's reports that it's like the team, there's a division in the team. But clearly when you see on the court and
we're on a three-game
the
win streak, we're doing
scoreboard,
good.
it's far from that. So
right.
I mean, if y'all want to address it, I mean clearly the stats and the play tells it all. But if you guys want to address it, please do.
I don't know if there are reports. As much as
I think it's speculation.
Speculation. Yes.
I don't know about
By giving those appearances, she extended validation to exactly the category of media she was now dismissing. That inconsistency is what has drawn the sharpest criticism. The standard she applied publicly was not one she had been applying privately when those same platforms were pushing narratives she found favorable.
opinions.
Yes.
I don't know about reports.
I think you're talking about. I don't think you're talking about journalism.
Correct.
And so if we're going to continue to create news from fans on social media or bots on social media or whatever it may be, then that's a problem, right? I think legitimate news sources need to report legitimate news.
Ooh, I like that. Scary. That's all we got.
That was the scene following the Connecticut Sun game. Now, I quickly, vigorously hurried up and got online after this.
The response online has been significant. Comments under clips of the press conference moment have largely taken aim at both White and the credentialed reporters who voiced support for her position. Some observers noted the irony that the traditional beat reporters who backed her remarks are themselves operating in a constrained environment, one where organizational access depends on not asking questions that cross certain lines.
Now, I quickly, vigorously hurried up and got online after this. Well, after I released the video breaking into the world, what she said, I went to social media and I went at all of the credentialed reporters' pages. Now, mind you, I tried to DM certain reporters and get them to come on the channel. You know what? It's fine. You don't have to come on my channel. But guess what? we're going to continue to control the narrative because y'all want us going like yesterday because y'all can have all the credibility in the world, but no one's listening.
The tension between institutional journalism and independent commentary is not new, but the Fever situation has brought it into sharper focus because the stakes around this team are unusually high. The broader context matters here. Attendance at Fever games has been a talking point, and a recently released survey asking fans what would bring them back to the arena reportedly generated a wave of responses pointing directly at the coaching staff.
But no one's listening because you're being controlled. You cannot have an actual opinion when you're a credentialed reporter. Trust me when I tell you this, guys. I promise you, they control damn near every question you ask. And if you ask the wrong question, guess what they're going to do? I'm going to call it the Scott Agnes. They're going to Scott Agnes you, bro. They're going to take your credentials and say, you know what? You're not credible anymore. Well, I'm here to tell you.
Whether accurate or not, that kind of feedback signal puts White in a difficult position, and attacking the messengers who are amplifying fan frustration is unlikely to quiet the conversation. Independent outlets have already indicated they intend to continue interviewing fans outside arenas and covering the team from outside the credentialed press environment, with or without organizational cooperation. The underlying issue with the press conference clip is not really about media categories.
Your credentials and say, you know what? You're not credible anymore. Well, I'm here to tell you, being the nice guy in the room don't get you nowhere. You don't make any money, you don't get any clicks, and you're pretty much selling your soul of an opinion of a coach that don't nobody like. It's always been that way in the new age media. A lot of these media people do not want content creators around because they went to school for so many years to get so many degrees and do all of these great things to not even get any traction online, bro.
It is about a coach who appears to be feeling the pressure of her seat getting hotter, responding by trying to delegitimize the coverage that is most critical of her, while having previously benefited from and participated in that same ecosystem when it suited her. The Indiana Fever pulled out a 1-0 point win over the Connecticut Sun, but the manner of the victory raised more questions than the final margin suggests. Indiana was pushed to the wire by the worst team in the league, a Sun roster without a legitimate star, and only secured the result through a late-game burst from Sophie Cunningham that papered over what had been a deeply uneven performance.
Now 2-13, worst team in the league. I went and checked the standings. Worst team in the league, Connecticut Sun. No superstars and a washed-up former Russian convict in Bob Greiner. There, I said it out loud. Shout out to everybody that'll say it in the comments section. Yeah, here we go. It ended up being a 10-point win, but guys, it was Sophie.
Caitlin Clark finished with 25 points on 10 of 17 shooting, including 5 of 10 from three-point range, and added 4 assists. The three-point shot has clearly returned as a consistent weapon after an uncertain stretch, including at least one make from an extreme distance that underlined the range she operates at. She also contributed a turnaround fadeaway that has quietly become a repeatable part of her offensive toolkit, a mid-post move that has shown up multiple times this season and is becoming difficult to account for defensively.
It was Sophie at the end going bananas. That was the difference in this game because, and I got to tell you, if you do realize, if you pull Caitlin Clark off this team, they get trucked by the Connecticut Sun with two supposed superstars in Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell. And in crunch time, it still took.
Kelsey Mitchell contributed 19 points, but needed 15 shots to get there. And Aaliyah Boston recorded a double-double with 13 points and 11 rebounds on 5 of 13 shooting volume that produced the numbers without the efficiency to match. The result aside, the game exposed ongoing concerns about the coaching staff and offensive structure. Indiana led by 9 at halftime and allowed that cushion to evaporate against a team that has almost no offensive firepower.
Took Sophie Cunningham showing up to win the game. Let's start with Soph. 4 of 5, 3 of 4 from three-point range, 11 points. I hope I hope she does the 3-point contest this year. I screamed bloody murder last year when we found out somebody from the Fever was going to end up doing that. I said, it needs to be Sophie. She's killed.
The half-court offense continued to grind through slow, predictable sequences, including a tendency to pass up open looks in favor of an additional touch that repeatedly stalled possessions. The fact that a 2-5 Point Clark performance and a Cunningham hot streak were still required to hold off a 2-13 opponent points to structural problems that a comfortable winning margin cannot fully obscure. Stephanie White's rotations and the broader offensive philosophy remain the central points of criticism, and a sentated, narrow escape against the league's worst team does nothing to quiet them.
She's killing 3-pointers. This is about the time Sophie started warming up last year. And she became a wrecking ball for like 6 weeks straight. Caitlin Clark was awesome tonight. 25 points, 10 of 17, 5 of 10 from 3-point range. She has found the 3-pointer, folks. She hit one, I swear to God, it was from 40 foot out. It was a long ass way out. It was a beautiful shot. Kelsey Mitchell, 19 points, but 6 of 15. Yikes. And Aaliyah Boston, the quietest double-double I've ever heard in my life. I mean, seriously, she put up a Angel Reese double-double tonight. 13 points, 5 of 13 double-double tonight. 13 points, 5 of 13, 11 rebounds. I mean, you know, if you're an Angel Reese fan, y'all celebrate this kind of thing. But no, not on this channel. Wow. Evelyn DR, let's start with her. My official feedback to the Fever, everything sucks. The coaching, the rotations, the slow motion offense, front office. I paid for the Showtime Fever, not basketball melatonin. Basketball melatonin. Bring back 2024, I said. I swear before God, if they make that bum-ass extra pass when they got a wide-ass open look one more time, guys, it drives me insane. The Indiana Fever struggling against a 2-12 team actually says a lot about that team is prepared by an amateurish coaching staff. It's their performance tonight was a direct reflection on the coaching staff. I don't want to hear, somebody asked me during this game, if they lose this game to this sorry team, would Stephanie White finally get fired? And I said, with this front office? No. The agenda is too big, and they would be like, oh, we've got parity in this league.